All right, today I'm here with Steve Eulig. Steve, how are you doing today?
Hey, Justin, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for doing this. I appreciate you. To kind of start off, could you kind of go over just like what market you're in and how your business is set up right now?
Yeah, sure. So we're in the sort of the greater Philadelphia market. We really don't do much marketing to the city of Philadelphia, but we operate sort of in the suburbs around the city, and we are primarily set up as a selling business at this point in time. So we do a lot of wholesaling. We will do wholesales and flips. We'll do novations. Pretty much those are our the four main things that we do.
Awesome.
And we have a pretty streamlined team. We have one acquisitions manager. Right now, we're looking at bringing on a second one. We have a lead manager who sets our appointments. We have a cold caller that does that full time for us. And we have a full time dispositions guy who markets and sells our deals. Uh,
Awesome.
yeah. And then I have a marketing assistant that helps me pull lists and does random tasks with me.
Right. Okay. Cool. So you've got four or five people on your team.
Yeah, I think it's about five people in.
Okay. Cool. So with a team like that, how many deals are you guys doing per month right now?
Yeah, so we are doing between 5 and 6 deals closed per month.
Awesome. Okay. Very, very cool. You're doing how many pieces of mail per month right now?
We are doing 40,000 pieces per month right now, scaling that up to 50 in the next couple of months.
Got it. Okay, cool. That's what I thought. I thought it was somewhere around there. Okay, and we've been working together a long time now. How long would you say you've actually been using Ballpoint marketing?
I've been using Ballpoint marketing since the very beginning, ever since I started Guardian Property Solutions, and I've honestly never worked with anybody else. That was back in fall of 2019 that I started working with
Oh
Ballpoint.
yeah, man, that's right when we started. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was October of 2019 is when we like really started growing everything. So that's I don't think I realized it had been that long. That's wild. Okay, so about 6 years.
Yep. I think that I was with you guys back in the really early days when I think part of the business might have been actually, believe it or not, inside somebody's house at one point in time, like maybe during,
Yeah,
COVID or something like that. Or, I know that as a small company, you sort of do what you have to. And I just
yep.
remember those early days.
Yeah, it started in a house in early 2019 at the house next door to my brother's, and then we moved it here. And then when COVID happened, we had to put it in my basement for like 4 months because they closed down all of the businesses where we were located. So it's been a ride. Okay, cool. So almost 6 years now. Um, okay. So when you started working with us, had you done any sort of marketing at all, or was that kind of like your first step into marketing?
I had done, believe it or not, actual handwritten letters. I sat down at my kitchen table,
Okay.
and if you can believe this, I don't know if you've ever done this before, but I literally wrote something like 130 handwritten letters at my kitchen table, sent them out, and got a handful of appointments, but no deals. Didn't really know what I was doing, and I'm like, geez, there's got to be a better way to do this. I'm not gonna go anywhere. It's too expensive. It took me a week to write all those letters.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so I learned about um, Ballpoint actually through one of my contacts at a local meetup. I was telling him about the handwritten letters I was writing, and he's like, hey, "Did you listen to Ryan Dossey's interview with Brandon Turner back in June on Bigger Pockets? You should probably listen to that because I think this guy may have cracked the code."
Yeah.
So I listened to it, got into Ryan's, emails for a few months, and then from there joined the mastermind, and then started, realized there was a better way to, do direct mail.
Yeah. Little easier on the wrist and the elbows, and from sitting there writing.
Yep, 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 yep.
Awesome. Okay. Cool. So I hadn't really done. So you pretty much started with direct mail, and I know you've done some cold calling and stuff since then, but you've pretty much been a direct mail guy since the beginning. It seems like.
Pretty much, yeah. I know that there's plenty of other avenues out there, and we did try pay per click for a period of time about a year and a half ago. Didn't really see much from it, unfortunately. So we pretty much went back to what we know works, which is direct mail. And I realize there's other things I could be doing, but I am pretty much committed to really mastering the art of mail before I really seriously spend any time or money on any other primary channel. So it's really,
Yeah.
for the most part, direct mail right now.
I'm glad you said that too. That's a good thing for any form of marketing. Like master the one thing and then do other things and not spread yourself too thin trying to figure out five things at once. So I love that you said that.
Yeah. And that was also good advice from a mentor of mine who's also at CCF, who runs a business about 10 times the size of mine right now. So who am I to argue with them? They basically said, look, until you reach, a certain level here as far as like revenue,
Yeah.
just focus on the one thing and become absolutely undeniably great at it, and then move into something else.
Got it. Yep. 100%. Okay. So you did PPC, didn't work super well. You guys do cold calling. How does that work for you?
Yeah, so cold calling is, we don't use it for cold traffic.
Okay.
We are not blindly just calling people out of the blue. We're pretty much just confining it to return to sender records.
Got
Um,
it.
we do enough mail volume where there's enough returns on a weekly basis to keep, this cold caller fairly busy, where he can
Smart.
have enough records, and we pull a few additional deals per quarter out of it.
Okay. Awesome. Love that you're doing that. Okay, so and you first heard about Ballpoint from a friend of yours locally there at a local meetup. He told you about the podcast, so that's awesome to hear. That's kind of where that came from. Was talking to him kind of the deciding factor to go with Ballpoint, or had you explored other options? Like what kind of made you decide to work with us?
That's a good question. So, honestly, it was listening to Ryan. Honestly, it was like hearing his podcast with on Bigger Pockets, and then essentially consuming his online content for probably 2 or 3 months,
Yeah,
and then learning about the CCF Mastermind, and then joining that, and then learning how to build the business and learning about Ballpoint through that.
got it. Awesome. So you kind of heard it, did some research, found some other stuff, and then were introduced into that ecosystem through CCF as well, which most of the people that are in there work with us as well. So that's good to hear. Cool.
So you guys, Ballpoint, not only a supplier but also a teacher. I mean, Ballpoint, yeah, and you and the good people there were the people that gave me my start and really taught me how to do this.
Awesome. Very cool. Yeah, I love to hear that. So we've been working together a long time now. What has kind of been your, I know you're doing 6 deals now or so per month, but overall, like what other results have you kind of seen in your business over the years as you've grown and built this business by using Ballpoint marketing? Like how has that helped the growth, or, what other things have you seen as a result of that?
Yeah, good question. Well, I mean, we use a lot of the handwritten letters. We also use some of the hybrid letters, but I think the fact that it is handwritten, and we do a lot of the letters which get drop shipped to us, so we can put a local postmark on them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that helps a lot with conversion from letter to lead. I think the piece price is more expensive typically than your generic yellow letter, but it's a higher quality piece, and it actually, when you add it all up, it's a lower cost per acquisition, so it requires fewer pieces and thusly less money overall per deal than if you're just going to go with like a standard cheapo yellow letter.
Right. Agreed. Yeah, we've seen that too. And are you still, because we see this still as well, but do you still have people that will call you like 6 months later and they're like, hey, I have this letter that you sent me like 6 months ago. I want to talk to you because it stands out. It looks different. Do you still see that in your business up there?
We do, yeah. We, the people that we're mailing are probably the same people that everybody else is mailing, and
yeah,
the Ballpoint pieces that we're sending out, we want to make sure they stand out, and oftentimes people will save our letter because it does stand out. They'll put it on the refrigerator, and we'll get comments from people, hey, your letter was the only one that really stood out to me, so I saved it, and I know I got it 6 months ago, but wanted to give you a call and see if you're still interested in my house. Or the other thing people will say is, hey, I have a ton of letters here. they were all in a big pile. I'm not sure why I called yours, but I felt compelled to call this one.
Yeah, we see that a lot. And we also, the thing we've noticed too, and I had a customer tell me this yesterday, but he's like, he's like, I had like 5 take me off the list calls come in. He's like, and they were the nicest take me off the list calls because it was handwritten. He's like, everyone else for any other letter we've sent, they're always super angry. He's like, you're still going to get them. But he was like, I thought it was funny. He was like, that was good enough for me at this point. Like I just had just those first couple calls come in and they were all actually friendly take me off the list calls, not, I'm going to wring your neck phone calls.
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a piece that even if people aren't necessarily thrilled about getting it, it's a piece that typically yields a fairly polite response.
Yeah. Agreed. Well, cool. What would you say has been your favorite thing about working with us so far?
Well, I like that you guys are, I guess, as companies go, are comparatively speaking, are still a smaller company. I like the fact that it's not some huge, gigantic corporation where it's hard to get answers or hard to get somebody
Yeah.
to help you out. I like the fact that I can reach out to you or reach out to Matt or Phoebe or anybody else there and get the help I need literally within minutes.
Awesome. Love that. Um, has there been any specific like deals or moments since working with us that has been kind of like a milestone in your business that you can contribute back to Ballpoint? Is there anything, one specific deal or time frame or month or anything like that that stands out to you?
I would say this year has been our toughest year in this business. It's gotten harder than it used to be.
Yeah.
Chalk it up to maybe uncertainty in the economy. Chalk it up to increased competition, maybe higher interest rates. Maybe it's a combination of the three, but it's definitely more difficult. And I think this year in particular, I'm grateful to have uh, you guys and the product that you provide because in a time when it's harder to get leads and thusly it's more expensive to get deals, the Ballpoint product makes that, I think, easier in general for us.
Good. That's good to hear. Okay. Very cool. Is there would you say if there's any unexpected or just one unexpected benefit that you've seen so far from working with us? It's something you wouldn't have thought of at first, but that has kind of come up.
I don't know. I don't know that I had because I was so new and fresh. I didn't have anything
That's true.
to
Yeah.
compare it to. I didn't have any preconceived notions of how things were supposed to work. So I didn't really have much comparison to say, hey, yay or nay. But I think it's just a great product in general, and the service is great. So
Awesome.
just overall,
Very cool. I appreciate it. If you were talking to another business owner, say you were at the meetup and someone came up to you and asked you about Ballpoint marketing, what would your response be to them? What would you tell them?
I would say definitely, especially in this day and age with today's market, at least in our area. I don't know how it is in other areas, but with things being tougher, it's worth paying a little bit extra, I think, to stand out.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately, provided you work your leagues and you're giving them the attention they deserve, you're going to see ultimately, I think, a lower cost per deal with the Ballpoint product. So I would tell people definitely give them a shot.
Well, very cool. I appreciate you hopping on today, Steve, and going over with this. Is there any kind of final like parting shots, words of wisdom, anything like that you want to share?
Yeah, absolutely. I know that I'm guilty of once I find something that works, I sort of get a little lazy about it. I'll keep
Okay.
I'm like, oh, this really works. This letter and this copy and this list, let's just keep doing it. And even when there's nothing wrong with the list necessarily, there's nothing wrong with the creative. It's there's only so many times you can do the same thing where
Right.
people, it's not that they aren't interested; they're just kind of bored of what you're sending them. So
Yeah.
I would tell people pay attention to your results that you're getting from your marketing. Don't just send it out and not measure it,
Yep.
which I've sort of done that in the past where I'm like, what the heck's going on? It's
Yeah.
not working as well as it used
I think
to.
we've all done that.
Yeah. So I would say my best piece of advice is pay attention to the lists that you're mailing and switch those up if you need to. But equally as important, pay attention to the creatives that you're sending. If you've sent letters a couple of months in a row and you're noticing a little bit of diminishing returns, then switch it up to, a postcard with a different marketing hook and see if that, generates additional interest. So you constantly have to be
Hmm.
refreshing, reviving not only the list, but also the creative. And remember that it's a volume game first. You have to mail a statistically significant number of records each month to see results and then niche it down from there. Don't get so caught up in niching down at the beginning if you're just getting into it. Just, pick a tried and true list like absentee owners with equity, put a value cap on it, and just, you know, commit yourself to mailing whatever it is, 3,000 a month if you can, and stick to that.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah, it's something that it's just like any form of marketing. You have to constantly tweak and adjust and edit and change stuff. And like you can set it and forget it for a short amount of time, a month or two, and then you kind of want to revamp that. So I couldn't agree more. Well, very cool. And I really appreciate you hopping on. This is super helpful. And yeah, if you guys watching this video have any questions, want to reach out to us, feel free to reach out to us at our website, ballpointmarketing.com. And thanks for watching.
Thanks.